Hey guys, welcome back. We are doing a cute little happy hippo today. I'm doing it especially for someone who requested it. I apologize. I suppose I should turn off my notifications just for you guys. So this one was requested. I've had quite a few requests for hippos actually, and it's been on my list for a while. So someone very special sent me a little box full of treats that are just for me. And like even as thoughtful as hand sanitizer and gloves to wear out if I needed to go somewhere. Candies, nail stuff for my nails, you guys. I have no idea how much you guys actually know about me after watching my tutorials, but it really, it made my day. It made my entire week. I'll be completely honest with you. Sometimes this is stressful. This whole lockdown, the whole thing is really stressful for everybody. And being a teacher, when I am not a teacher, when it comes to schoolwork, I don't even know how I managed to teach you guys to paint. So it's really kind of like I'm feeling like a crappy parent at times right now because I really don't know if I'm being a successful teacher to my kids or making sure that they are doing okay academically through this. So, stress and all that, it really made my week to receive such a beautiful, thoughtful gift from UD, and I just want to thank you publicly, and get this hippo done just for you because you requested it as well. So it's about time I do a cute little hippo. So you're going to see it kind of come together. I'm using a sponge, mostly sponges right now. It's going to kind of be like a picture that's completely out of focus. You can see that there's something there, but we're going to bring it into focus throughout this tutorial. I hope you guys like it. And I'm using just a little bit of black and a little bit of white added to my pewter gray if I need to lighten areas or darken areas like I did under the chin and on the nose of it. I guess it's a snout. I don't even know. Is it a snout? My son would call that a snout. So I'll say it's a snout. I will be adding a little bit of vintage tea rose pink to some areas once I have it the way I want it. With the shading here, with the different colors of gray and lighter gray and darker gray. And once I have that all together, then I'll add some details, which will then once again bring our photo into focus. So I'm not going to do like the whole body. I'm just kind of doing the face portrait of a cute little hippo. And then we're going to add some flowers. I'm going to try and make her look mischievous, I guess. I don't know. We'll see how she turns out. But right now, this is just a blurry, like a blurry photo. But this rock, I have to tell you, this rock is going to change dramatically. It's not going to look anything like this when we're done. So make sure you check what your rock is going to look like when you seal it. Run it underwater. Let it dry, then you can paint on it. But run your rock underwater so that you aren't shocked and possibly not happy with the way it looks once you seal it. This rock is going to go almost black, but there's going to be some real chunks of like a marbling in there, and it's going to look beautiful, but I already know what it's going to look like once it gets sealed, so it's not going to be a big surprise for me, but it might be for you guys because it's going to change how it looks. So keep it in mind. Check what your rocks are going to look like once you seal them. They do darken. Sometimes if you have a sparkly rock, when you seal it, you lose the sparkles. So, just be careful that you're aware of that prior to sealing. So I know this rock is going to be very much darker once we're done. Now I'm still lightening. Now I'm working on the snout. I've added a little bit of vintage tea rose to my pewter gray to give a little bit of a pink hue to the cheeks. I'm going to be putting a little bit of a pink hue into the ears and into the nostrils there and just under the chin. or under the snout there where the lip is. There is some pink on the lip already. But it's very, 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 very mild pink. It's not like bam, pink everywhere. It's just very, very, very mild vintage pink and pewter gray mixed together so that there's like a strange pink hue to the gray. But that to me looks like hippo. That's my creation of what hippo color is. So now I am kind of bringing her into focus a little bit more right now by outlining some areas with black paint. I don't want it to be too dark, but or the lines to be too thick, but my rock is going to be almost black anyway, so you're really not going to notice those black outlines as much when it's sealed. You'll understand more soon. So where the eyes are, I have lightened it up there, but it was just basically to give me an idea of where I wanted to put them when it all came down to it. So now I'm adding just big circles in there. I'm going to let those dry before I work with them too much, and we'll just go back to the snout area. And now I'm outlining that area. I'm also going to darken it in there a little bit so it looks like the mouth is slightly open just a little bit there. Aw, she's looking cute. Now, if you want, you can just surround her with water if you don't want to do flowers, because I'm sure you guys saw the thumbnail. There's flowers involved, gold and sparkle. Her nose looks silly right now, but she is going to have some nostrils very soon. I promise. It looks a bit strange at the moment. But I work with it and blend it until I'm happy with it. So you guys can watch me blend and blend until I'm happy with it and then see the end result so that you know whether or not you want to do that. But yeah, you can surround her with water and put glitter in the water. You can put some flowers on her head, like a little flower crown with daisies or something cute like that. You can have a flower hanging out of her mouth. You can do whatever you want. Do whatever you want with what we've done so far. I will be adding flowers because that's just the way I like to do things. You can do bubbles too. You could maybe make it look like she's in a little bubble bath. You can do eyelashes. I'm not going to do eyelashes on her, but if you want to pretty her up even more and give her some long eyelashes, that's up to you. See how I just keep kind of working with the shading in here. I'm still trying to figure out how to make it look like a hippo nose. So I am working away at it. I'm going to lighten up the lips a little bit above so that I can put some little whisker dots there. But I want to make sure that her chin looks right. Her mouth doesn't look too strange there. See, there is like a little pink hue. Can you guys see that? A little bit. Very, very slight. So I'm going to add a little bit of white around her eyes. I'm not being very careful. I'm going kind of quick with it. So her eyes aren't going to be perfect, but I'm not going to do too much detail because that makes people, when they start seeing too much detail on my channel, they do ask me for easier ones. So I'm trying to make this a little bit easier so that we can all follow along. So I'm not going to go into I'm not going to try and get more realistic with it. This is as realistic as we're going to get today. I'm just kind of rounding her eyes off a little bit. And I'm using just straight pewter gray above the eyes because it's a little bit lighter than the shade that I've done up on her forehead and the tops of her ears. Now I'm going to add some bloops. Bring her alive a little bit more. A little glimmer in her eyes. And now she's got some cute little sesame seed nostrils there. Super duper cute. She's cute. But I tell you, she does look mischievous. She's getting there. She looks like she could be trouble. So once again, a little bit of vintage pink with mixed with pewter gray, putting it into the ears, and I'm going to lighten up her little lips here a little bit, so that way we can see her little whisker dots, like I called them earlier. I'm just using a toothpick and some black paint, and I'm going to do a bunch of little whisker dots right there on her upper lip, and I'm going to put a couple of white ones too so that it looks kind of shiny on her whisker dots. But that's after. I'll be adding more dots afterwards. So here I am. What do I need to do? I know there's something. I need to do some weird shading up here around the eyes because it just didn't look right to me. I don't know. But I'm going to work with my smallest sponge again. These are just Martha Stewart sponges. I'm going to leave them in the description of the video so that you can see where I get them. They might not be able to be shipped in your area because the link in my description is for Canada. I'm just showing you where I got them from. So you might have to look up where you are and see if you can find Martha Stewart sponge daubers in your area. So I have got the under the eye area done. I'm lightening up the front of her chest there. Just a little bit. We're going to be covering it up with some flowers and stuff anyway, but I'm just going to kind of lighten up just under her chin. I don't know, guys. Let me know what you think of her. I think her name should be Tulip. She looks like a tulip. I don't know why. That's just what I get when I paint her. Tulip. I'm just putting little white bits on the sides of her, the sides of the black area of her eyes. Just a little bit of white there just to show the circular part of the eye there. And a couple of little white dots where her whiskers are to make it look like it's a little shiny there. Some of this may not be understood by you. Some of you are probably like, why? That's not even necessary, Rachel. Why are you doing that? I am self-taught, and sometimes I overdo it. Hey, it's fun. I like it. I need to do my nails, though, so I need to take a break from painting so that I can get my nails done. So she is looking pretty cute. Pretty cute. Okay, we are going to add some flowers. Now, this one is just magenta. I like I said, all my paint colors will be listed in the description. So this one is like a nice dark pink. And I'm just doing 2 flowers like this. One's a bit smaller than the other one, and it's just 4 petals with a little point. These are made up flowers. If you've seen them out and about while you're on your walk, take a picture. Send them to me because that means I could be in trouble for copyright infringement. I thought I was making these flowers up. So if you see some, please send me a picture. Now that I have dabbed it on there, I painted it on with, whoops, I need to use some nail polish remover here. Look at how fast that stuff dries. I'm using nail polish remover to remove some pink paint that I dabbed on top of this ear here. But you can't even see it now. Magic. The magic of nail polish remover and acrylic paint. So first I painted the flowers on with a paintbrush. Then I used a sponge to sponge it out because I don't like the paint lines, the paintbrush strokes. Now I've let the magenta color dry a little bit, and now I'm adding a little bit of berry wine in mostly the center, but I'm bringing it up just about to the edges of all the petals. And we're just basically darkening the center of the flowers. So now I'm going to outline with black paint so that we can see each individual petal. And you can do whatever kind of flowers you want. Like I said, you don't even have to do flowers. You could do bubbles. You could do water. You can do leaves. It's totally up to you. I just like color and I like flowers. And instead of putting like a flower crown on her, I thought I'd have her kind of sitting behind a flower bouquet. And as soon as I turn my back, as soon as I'm done with her, she's going to eat the flowers. That's the way she's looking at me. Like, go ahead, Rachel. Go ahead. Leave me to dry. You will not see these flowers here. So that's kind of the look I'm going for. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'm so sorry for those notifications. They're not supposed to be there. So now I've done with the nice dark green. It's actually called thicket green. Normally I show you that. I didn't see it, so I'm losing it on this whole quarantine situation. I might be losing it a little bit. So I'm just doing some dots along the little lines that I drew, just so that it looks like a cute little vine. It's very simple. None of these are realistic. I'm going to do some unrealistic, like baby's breath flowers, the little tiny white ones. And I'm going to do a couple of little yellow flowers too. First, I'm going in the center of my flowers with black paint, but I want to see that gold ring around the black paint. So don't, make sure that you can still see all that gold in the center as well. All of it will be much easier seen once it's been sealed with resin, but bear with me. I don't really show you what's going on down there at the bottom of the rock very much, but there's no secrets. You'll see it all at one point. No secrets. So I'm just using like a nice dark brown and doing little branches so that I can put little white dots. See how I'm not doing any like detail of any kind. I'm literally just dotting. There's a lot of dots in this hippo stone. For some reason, I've made it a lot of dots again. I love dots. I'm not sorry about that. So when I'm doing the little baby's breath dots, I just do like 4 dots together, and I try and keep like 4 dots, 4 dots, 4 dots, 4 dots, 4 dots. So wherever I'm going, I put 4 little dots, and then it just kind of looks cute. I don't know. You let me know. Let me know what you think. You can do whatever you want with your flowers. That's why I like it. It's fun. You can do whatever you want, and they don't have to be realistic, and they don't have to be something anyone has seen before, because sometimes the things that come from your mind are the most beautiful. So that's the way I work. So I'm doing 3 simple little yellow flowers. Kind of look like dandelions if you add a couple more petals to them. I'm just going to put a black dot in the center of those once they're a little bit more dry. And I'm using a lighter green. I'm just going to do a couple of bigger leaves that are kind of like spade shaped, or, you know, they look like little spades. I'm going to do first a light green, like a lime green, and then I'm going to fill it in with a bright green, which is a little bit darker, just to kind of define the centers of the leaves a little bit more. So I'm just painting this out in the one shade, and then while it's still wet, we're going to add another shade of green. You've probably seen me do this before. I can't just do one shade of green. I can't. I have to get all weird on you and add 2 shades of green. But I just like how it looks. I'm just going in the center of the leaf with the darker shade. So it kind of looks like the outer lining of the leaves are a little bit glowy, a little bit lighter, and I just like it better. So deal with it. You'll like it too, I promise. Now for the glitter. You know we have to add glitter. So I'm adding a nice pink chrome nail glitter. You guys have seen me use this plenty of times. I will list it in the description as well, but don't forget, this is in Canada on Amazon where I get mine. You might have to look on Amazon for the United States or for wherever you are so that you can try and find it. It's called chrome powder or nail shell powder. Yeah, it's for nail art. So once I've dabbed that onto my pink petals of my flower, I am covering it with triple thick so that that glitter doesn't travel all over my hippo when I seal it with resin. I want that glitter to only stay on the petals. So I've sealed it with some triple thick. You can use Mod Podge or whatever you have handy that dries clear to hold it in place. And if you have like a small bottle of like varnish of some sort, then that's what you can use too. Just make sure it's dry properly before you try and do anything else with it. Now, of course, I'm adding a little bit of gold to these beautiful non-realistic flowers. And so I've outlined the petals with gold, and now I'm adding a couple of little sprigs of black, I guess you could say, little hairs, but they're not really hairs. They're just wrinkles in the petals. Here we go, guys. Get ready. See how dark this went? It's just beautiful. I just love it. You can see all the glitter in the flowers. Everything has its own little spot, and it's so colorful and beautiful. I hope you guys loved it. I miss you. Stay tuned for the next one coming in a couple of days. Keep painting, guys. Mwah.